Welcome back to At Home Learning Live. I am Adam Peterson, and I'm so excited to be joined today by a new friend of mine who I followed on social media for quite some time, and then did a podcast episode with her and have just connected a lot lately because of a project that I'm working on that you all know. This is all based around my book. So we're going to bring on my very, very good friend, Mrs. Tara Martin from DBC Inc., from Tara Martin, from Be Real, from Cannonball Inn. Welcome, Tara.
Hey, thanks for having me, Adam. Super excited to be here.
Thanks for waking up early and being here. I feel like I listed all your accolades, but there's so much more that, like, I say from DBC, but you're from so many other backgrounds: educator, administrator, mom, wife, so much in your life.
Hey, that's good enough. It's, I think all of us, when you say, like, what do you do? It's the list of our little job title doesn't even halfway scratch the surface, right? I think in every role, even teacher, I mean, just to think of what an educator does on a daily basis, like it's everything. It's every profession, right?
It is, totally, yeah.
I've been a teacher. I've been an instructional coach. I spent a big chunk of my educational career in instructional coaching. Then I moved into administration, wrote a couple of books, and worked for DBC Inc. As their director of PR and communications, where I do get to work with authors like you and help authors navigate through the process of getting prepared to launch their book, and then actually the launching of their manifesto into the world. So helping them share their messages with the world. And I love every role that I've ever been in. And it's all about, in my mind, it's all about doing what's best for the kiddos out there and just helping others serve our kiddos the best that we possibly can. That's just like my role in this life.
That's awesome. And you're so good at it. I know from the conversations we've had, you're always so positive. You're always wanting to help. And when I reached out to you about doing this, I said, I've been doing a lot of like at-home play and games. And you're like, well, what do you want me to do? And I said, just be you, like be real, which is the name of your book. And you said, let's do something that might not be happening, discussions. And I thought that was great because I feel like now parents especially are so overwhelmed with taking on the role of not just mom or dad or guardian, but also teacher while being mom or dad or guardian 24 hours a day. So when you brought that idea to me, I thought this is perfect. Let's step away from just the academics for a while and just be a family and discuss things. And I cannot wait to hear what you have to share. So I'm going to let you take it away, share these ideas that you have for everybody.
Okay, fantastic. So, sharing real discussions can happen in so many different areas. So it can happen at the dinner table and happen in the living room, but this is also something that should be happening in the classroom. And so I actually share these strategies with teachers because I think it's really important to keep the realness of allowing students to share their individuality in the classroom setting with the content. So this isn't absent from some of the other things that you've done, it's just in addition to. So one of the strategies I love, it's called Take a Chance. So Take a Chance is all about using dice. So you can use any kind of dice. You can use the little dice like this, or you can use the bigger foamy dice if you have these. And there's even like ginormous, like inflatable ones on Amazon. Don't worry, you don't need those. You could just use little dice like this. But basically, you can just ask a question. So say your kiddos have been sitting in front of the computer with this e-learning that's new to them, and they just kind of need a break to like kind of digest all the things that they've been learning and listening to and trying. So have them step away and maybe start the discussion with what is, if you were to summarize, or if you were to think of your favorite things that you've talked about today, maybe you use it at the very end of the day or at the end of a lesson, and you just want them to just share out their favorite things or the things that really stuck with them. You can have them roll a die. And so say you have more than one kid, everyone gets to roll the die and everyone gets to respond. So the first person is going to roll the die. So I'm going to roll the die and say it lands on 5. Then I have to share my favorite part of the day or my favorite part of the lesson, or maybe it's with families, maybe it's your favorite part of the nature walk you just took. and you're going to share 5 things. You can only share with 5 words. So you can either share 5 items, or you can say a sentence that includes 5 words. But what this allows students to do is synthesize their thinking and draw it down to the main key pieces. And it really helps us in the educational world with summarizing. So when we are reading a story and we ask kids to tell us a little bit about it, we don't really want them to retell us the entire story. We want them to give us a tidbit about it, the main key points that really stood out to them. So this is a great way to have like a different discussion with your kiddos. Everyone gets to do it. And maybe you have little bitties. So you're like, my kids are 5 years old, they're learning letter sounds and letter names and things like that. You could do this with them too. So say they roll the die and the letter sound that we are working with is ah, then they name all the words that they can think of, however many they roll. So say they roll a 6, they name 6 words that start with the sound ah. So it can work for all different levels of learners. Good.
No, sorry to interrupt you. I love that. And here's why. We have littles at home. My daughter's 11. My son is just turned 9. But even when they were in school, I know we're homeschooling now, but that sounds weird. We're not homeschooling. We're doing what everybody else is doing. But I remember like saying to the distance learning, saying like, hey, what was the best part of your day? And it was always like math, recess, lunch, my friends. Like, I love this because you're encouraging them to say so much more without saying, no, tell me more. This is such a cool idea. Great idea.
It's so fun. It's fun too for the like really wordy friends. So my little niece is very wordy. Like, okay, let's like narrow it down. Give some structure. I like doing this too with my family, just sitting around the table. We could just roll the die. You can ask any open-ended question, anything really, and you roll the die, and you only get to use that many words to answer it. It's just fun. It's just a different way of having a conversation. Another thing that we do that kind of adds to creativity, we call it toss a thought. And with littles, with any age of student, I'm like, who doesn't love throwing something? I don't know. I do. So you could just have them toss the thought. And this is like, there's really not a ton of structure to this, but you can just say, what's on your mind? Or what are you still thinking? Or what, like I said earlier, what was your favorite part about the nature walk? Or what was your favorite part about our family exercise? And they all just stand in a circle, or if it's just you and your child, you hold the ball, you answer, you toss the ball, they answer. So just toss a thought, just a way that whoever has the ball, they get to respond. And when the ball is in someone else's hands, they get to be the active listener. So it's another way to help with that conversational piece, and allowing them to have that opportunity to respond, but also encouraging them to be a good listener when someone else has the ball.
That's such a good one too. Yeah. I'm so excited about these. It just makes me want to go sit like we've been doing. I think everybody has said this. We've had more family dinners like in the recent weeks than we've had in a long time, when our daughter has been busy with her activities. Our son hasn't been busy with baseball, but now it makes me want to go upstairs and like make a family breakfast and sit down and play these games. Cause that's such a good idea. And especially parents that are watching this, like it's hard sometimes, I know, when we're at home all day long and the kids are there all day long and you're doing activity after activity after activity, but this is such an easy one for downtime. This isn't go get out all this stuff and get out your work pages and set up school. This is just be a family, right?
And in the classroom, even in the classroom, Adam, where we would just encourage kids to share their thoughts about a chemistry lesson. What are you like, what's on your mind right now? How are you feeling about this lesson? It just gave them an opportunity. You just give them a little squeezy ball and they get to toss a thought about it. And it doesn't have to be that I love this formula, that we just learned. It's like my mind is blown. I feel overwhelmed. I'm thinking about my basketball game. I'm really not even thinking about chemistry. They just have this opportunity to be real and to share what's really happening in their mind. And sometimes when we give kids that moment to just like recognize what's actually happening, then they are ready to learn again. It's kind of like when we restart this morning, I had to restart my computer. You just get a little restart and then you're ready to go again. And I think with children and with students and with adults, with me, you just need that moment. Like, I'm thinking about all these things. Oh, you're giving me a moment to talk about that? Okay, let me talk about that. And then we're going to go back to learning. I think it's learning anywhere, at home, at school. We need to offer them those opportunities to be real and have these discussions.